Puffy's Adventures, the bunny who conquered the shadow of fear. In the deepest part of the emerald forest, where trees whispered ancient secrets and flowers glowed with a soft inner light, lived a little bunny named Puffy. His fur was milky white, and his eyes were enormous, the color of a forest violet. Puffy was the most timid bunny in the entire forest. Every rustle of leaves, every squeak of an unseen mouse, made his heart pound like a drum and his paws tremble with fear. The Emerald Forest was a place of magic. Here, beneath the roots of ancient oaks, lived gnome herbalists, skilled in brewing potions from dew and moonlight. In the treetops, shimmering siren-birds built their nests, their singing lulling even the wildest storms to sleep. And at night, when stars scattered across the sky, firefly fairies appeared over the lake of dark lilies, weaving magical patterns from sparks. But in this world, full of wonders, there were also shadows. The greatest shadow for Puffy was the whisper of night, something shapeless that, he imagined, lurked behind every bush, under every stone. He had heard about it from the old wise owl Midnight, who sometimes told stories around the campfire. Owl Midnight said that the whisper of night fed on fear and grew stronger with every trembling paw. Puffy's parents, experienced and brave rabbits, tried to comfort him. "Don't be afraid, Puffy," said his father, Swift, stroking his head. "It's just the wind playing hide-and-seek with the leaves." "Fear is just a shadow," added his mother, Fluff, hugging him. "And shadows disappear in the light." But Puffy just couldn't understand how to ignite this light. His world was full of shadows. He feared the loud voice of Grumble the bear, who, though kind, sometimes roared too loudly. He feared the cunning fox trickster, Rusty, who might suddenly leap out from behind a tree. Even the seemingly cute squirrel scamperers, Chime and Splash, darting quickly through the branches, scared him with their unpredictability. An awkward incident by Crystal Stream. One day, as the sun was just beginning to awaken the forest, Puffy went to gather strawberries. He tried to stay close to home, but the ripest strawberries always grew a little further away, by Crystal Stream. He carefully hopped over roots, listening to every rustle. Suddenly, from behind a bush, a small but very loud scarab beetle, named Bronzite, darted out. He was no bigger than a nut, but his buzzing was so deafening, and his shell shone so brightly in the sun, that Puffy startled, jumped, and, losing his balance, tumbled head over heels down the slope. He only stopped right at the water's edge, covered in mud and with eyes wide with terror. Bronzite, seeing the frightened bunny, even stopped and seemed to wiggle his antennae in surprise. "Oh dear. My apologies, little bunny," he boomed. "I didn't mean to startle you. I was just in such a hurry. I have an important date with the fern blossom today." But Puffy heard nothing but the deafening thump of his own heart. He ran home, trembling all over, and burrowed into his den, refusing to come out. His parents were worried. "What happened, son?" asked his mother, Fluff, peeking into the burrow. There, he was so big and buzzy," Puffy whispered. "I thought he would eat me." "That was just Bronzite, he's very kind," his father, Swift, smiled. "And he's 100 times smaller than you." But Puffy just couldn't calm down. Owl Midnight's wise counsel. They called upon wise Owl Midnight, the guardian of forest secrets. Owl Midnight flew in on her soft, silent wings. Her bead-like eyes glowed with wisdom. "What troubles you, Puffy?" she asked in a low, calm voice, landing on a branch next to the burrow. Puffy, trembling, told her about his fear of the whisper of night, of the scarab beetle, of everything in the world. "I feel like something scary is hiding behind every bush," he whispered softly. "And when it gets dark, the whisper of night, it's everywhere." All Midnight listened carefully, and then spoke. "Your fear, Puffy, is like a small, unnoticed sprout that you water every time you get scared. The more you water it, the bigger it grows. But this sprout can be pulled out." "How?" Puffy whispered, peeking his curious snout out of the burrow. "To do that, you must go to the Echo Valley. There, where every sound repeats, you will be able to hear your fear and understand it. But you need a companion. Someone who won't let you stray from your path." Just then, the curious hedgehog Spines approached the burrow. He was known for his bravery and unflappability, and for never sitting still. He was dragging a huge mushroom he had just found. "I'll go with Puffy," squeaked Spines, struggling to move the mushroom. "I'm not afraid of any echoes." Puffy looked at him. Spines was small, but his quills looked very dependable. And he was so fearless. Perhaps it wouldn't be so scary with him. "Very well, Spines," said All Midnight. "But remember, the path will not be easy. The illusory spirit of fear is very cunning, it takes on many forms." "We'll manage," Spines said confidently. Puffy sighed. He hoped Spines was right. The road to Echo Valley. The next morning, gathering his courage, Puffy and Spines set off. The emerald forest sparkled with dew, birds sang. But Puffy still flinched at every rustle. What was that? Puffy stopped abruptly, pressing his ears back. "That was just a croaking frog jumping into the water," Spines replied calmly. "She always makes such a loud splash." They walked past the glow mushrooms, who waved their caps like little lanterns. "Hello, Puffy." "Hello, Spines," the glow mushrooms whispered in unison. "Where are you heading?" "To Echo Valley," Spines proudly answered. Oh, it's very echoey there," the mushrooms chimed. Puffy grew even more nervous. Further on, they met Woodpecker Peck. He was drumming on a tree so vigorously that the sound vibrated in their ears. "Hey, Peck!" Spines called out. "Tap tap tap," replied the woodpecker, without stopping his work. "Something wrong?" "Puffy's going to conquer his fears," Spines explained. Woodpecker Peck looked intently at Puffy. "Just don't chatter your teeth with fear, little bunny," he grumbled. "It dries out the wood." Puffy just gave a weak smile. They passed by the river of silver scales, where fish with butterfly wings swam. Suddenly, a water snail named Offkey popped out of the water. She was very slow, but loved to talk. "Where are you rushing off to, my dears?" Offkey drawled. "Oh, the path is long, long. To Echo Valley," Spines repeated. "Oh, Echo Valley. There's such an echo there, such an echo." Snail Offkey began a long story about how she once got scared of her own echo. Puffy felt a lump in his throat. Spines, seeing this, politely said goodbye to the snail and pulled Puffy along. "Don't listen to her, Puffy," Spines said. "She tells everyone the same story." The heart of Echo Valley. Finally, they reached Echo Valley. It was a strange place. The walls of the valley were made of smooth, gray stone, and every sound, even the quietest, echoed off them and repeated, as if hundreds of voices were speaking it. Well, here we are, Spines said. Try saying something. Puffy took a deep breath and softly squeaked, "P-E-K." And immediately from all sides came, "P-E-K. P-E-K. P-E-K." Puffy shivered and pressed against Spines. Now try to say something that scares you, the hedgehog suggested. Puffy thought. What scared him the most? "Whisper of night," he uttered in a trembling voice. And immediately from all sides, a chorus erupted, "Whisper of night. Whisper of night. Whisper of night." The voices grew louder, closer, and Puffy felt as if the whisper of night itself was surrounding him from all sides. He closed his eyes and squeezed them shut. "Now listen carefully," Spines said, his voice surprisingly calm. And Puffy heard. Through the chorus of fears, Spines' voice broke through. "These are just words, Puffy. They are your own words, returning to you. They can't do anything to you. They are just sounds." Puffy opened his eyes. The echo was still sounding, but now it seemed less threatening. He listened closely. Indeed, they were just his own words, multiplied. "Try saying something you love," Spines suggested. Puffy thought of his mother, the smell of fresh grass, the warm sunshine, his kind friend Spines. "Sunshine. Mama. Friendship," he uttered. And the valley filled with joyful echoes, "Sunshine. Sunshine. Sunshine. Mama. 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 Friendship. Friendship. Friendship." It wasn't scary at all. It was even pleasant. Suddenly, at the very bottom of the valley, in the middle, from somewhere beneath the ground, a shimmering, translucent silhouette appeared. It looked like wisps of gray mist that constantly changed shape, but within them, something like eyes, red, glowing embers, could be discerned. It seemed enormous, its outlines constantly distorted, taking on the form of a terrifying shadow, then a predatory beast, then a loud beetle. This was the illusory spirit of fear, which fed on emotions. It always appeared in the scariest places, amplifying others' anxieties. Puffy trembled again. He was sure this was the whisper of night, now having taken form. He's real," the little bunny whispered, clinging to Spines. "He's going to eat me." "He only seems real," Spines calmly replied. "He is only strong with your fear. Look him in the eyes. He's just an illusion, woven from your anxieties." Puffy, though afraid, gathered his courage and lifted his head. He looked at the red glints in the misty body. The illusory spirit of fear seemed enormous, threatening. "Shout at him," Spines suggested. "Shout at your fear." I can't." Puffy stammered. "You can." Spines insisted. "Imagine it's just a big, empty sack, filled with air. And you can poke a hole in it." Puffy gathered all his strength. He took a deep breath and, unexpectedly, loudly shouted. "Go away. I am not afraid of you." And the Echo Valley picked up his words, "Go away. I am not afraid of you," hundreds of times. And something amazing happened. The red glints in the misty body of the illusory spirit of fear flickered. Its outlines became less distinct. It seemed to shrink. Puffy felt a surge of courage. He took a step forward. "Go away," he repeated even louder. "You won't scare me. You're just a shadow." With each of his words, the illusory spirit of fear grew smaller and paler. The red glints faded. Finally, it turned into a barely visible wisp of smoke and dissolved into the air, as if it had never been there. Echo Valley filled with silence. Puffy stood, breathing heavily. His heart was still pounding, but no longer from fear, but from excitement and some new, unknown feeling, victory. "You did it, Puffy," exclaimed Spines. "You chased it away." "I knew you could." Puffy smiled. For the first time in his life, he felt strong. The return and new encounters. They left Echo Valley and headed back home. Puffy still heard rustles in the bushes, but now he didn't flinch as much. He remembered Spines' words, "They're just words. They're just shadows." On their way back, they met Grumble the bear. He was just sneezing very loudly. Before, Puffy would have run away at top speed, but now he simply stopped and waited for the bear to finish. "Bless you, Uncle Bear," Puffy said, unexpectedly. Grumble the bear looked at him in surprise, rubbing his eyes with a paw. "And good health to you, little bunny," he rumbled. "You've grown braver." "What happened to you?" "I conquered my fear," Puffy proudly replied. "In Echo Valley." Grumble the bear smiled. "Well, that's very good. Now you won't run away from my sneezes." A little further on, they saw Rusty the fox, trying to catch a butterfly. He was so focused that he didn't notice them right away. "Hey, Rusty!" Spines called out. The fox startled, and the butterfly flew away. "Oh, it's you, little ones," the fox grumbled. "Why all the noise?" "We're returning from Echo Valley," Puffy said cheerfully. "From Echo Valley?" the fox was surprised. "And you, little coward, didn't run away?" "No," Puffy calmly replied. "I realized that fear is just a shadow. And shadows disappear in the light." Rusty the fox snorted. It seemed he was a little puzzled by the bunny's newfound bravery. When they returned home, Puffy's parents were overjoyed. Mama Fluff hugged him tightly. "You are so brave, son," she said. "I'm so proud of you, Puffy," added Papa Swift. Wise Owl Midnight also flew in to hear about their journey. I'm not afraid of the whisper of night anymore," Puffy said shyly. "I realized that it's only strong when I'm afraid of it." Owl Midnight nodded, her eyes glowing with approval. "You found your light, Puffy. Now you know that fear is just a shadow. And shadows disappear in the light. And you yourself have become a light for others." Puffy's new life. From then on, Puffy's life changed. He was still a cautious bunny, for the forest was full of dangers. But now, when fear approached, he remembered Echo Valley and Spines' words. He imagined his fear as a small, empty cloud, and then the fear receded. One day, when a fierce thunderstorm raged in the forest, and trees bent under the gusts of wind, other bunnies trembled with fear. But Puffy, though he felt uneasy, went to the largest oak tree. He listened to the thunder, but now he heard not only a threat, but also the power of nature. He knew that the storm would soon end, and the sun would appear again. Frightened young bunnies, Beads and Skip, ran up to him. "Puffy, I'm scared," Beads squeaked. "The thunder is rumbling right over us," Skip added. Puffy smiled. "Don't be afraid, friends," he said. "A thunderstorm is just a big noise. It will pass soon. Think about how fresh and clean it will be afterward. And the sun will come out from behind the clouds." Now Puffy helped other young bunnies who were afraid. He told them his story, how he fought the illusory spirit of fear and how he understood that fear is just a shadow. He became the bravest bunny in the Emerald Forest. And though his fur was still milky white, and his eyes, the color of a forest violet, they now shone not only with innocence, but also with wisdom and an unshakable belief in himself. He proved that even the smallest bunny can conquer his biggest fear if he finds the strength to look it in the eye. And the most magical thing in this Emerald Forest was that now Puffy no longer just hid from shadows, he himself knew how to light his own bright light.